Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome to episode number 3 of our Minnesota Wild GM mode. So, in last episode, we started the season simulation and we simmed all the way up to the trade deadline. Our record's not looking great so far. We are 27, 26, and 9, while our AHL team is killing it down there, I believe, once it loads up because it's a bit slow right now. They're 40, 21, and 2. So, we're here at the deadline, like I was saying. I was going to make one huge trade, but a lot of people are disagreeing with doing this trade, so I'm not going to do that trade, but I'm going to do a different trade if it could go through. I'll try and get it to go through. But first we'll show you guys the one that I was thinking of, just in case you guys want me to do this kind of thing, maybe like next season if the player resigns with the Islanders. So obviously I was going to try and go after John Tavares because John Tavares is a really good player. He's only got 1 year left, which is the kind of scary part. We'd have to re-sign him to like a pretty good contract. But to get somebody like him, we'd have to give up a lot of players. So we'd have to give up first like a person to take over his roster spot, which would be like Mikko Koivu, who's a center as well. He actually just signed a contract extension in real life at like $11 million. I don't know if I'm actually going to give him his actual contract extension. Because like 2 years at $11 million is a lot of money. Especially to give to somebody who's like 34 years of age. I know he's the captain, but still. We'd also have to give up somebody like this top prospect I made, Luke Kunin. He's our best center prospect other than Eriksson Ek. So we'd have to do these two at least. And then we'd have to give away a lot of picks in order to get them. So if I was to do this trade, I would probably have to give up, for example, I'd have to give up the 2019 first, second, and third. And that still might not even be that close. So yeah, that's probably why we're not doing this trade, is just because there's too much picks and young prospects involved. So we are not going to do that deal, but if you guys think that is a realistic trade, let me know down below in the comments. Otherwise, the other guy that intrigued me here at the deadline was Gustav Nyquist, who's available right wing sniper on Detroit. He's got 2 years left at 4.625, so not too expensive, and he's got low trade value. So in order to get him, we're going to have to give up a roster player at least. So we're going to give up Tyler Ennis for sure because he's got low trade value and he could just easily take a part of that. We're also going to have to throw in some sort of prospect kind of guy that they might want. So let's see, mashing block. I'm not going to give away Gustav Olofsson. They don't have a lot of interest in anybody. I'm not giving up Devin Dubnyk, obviously. Let's see. So I could probably give them some other type of prospect guys, but not a lot of these guys have trade value. Okay, maybe I'm going to have to give up, let's see, who has a good trade value that's not even on the roster, or Marcus Foligno is, though. Lucia, I don't want to give up Lucia, though. I wanted to give up Christoph Berchi probably in this trade, and I guess I could give them Lang, but I don't know if that's too much. They'd have more than 45 skaters. So we could just probably do Ennis and maybe a pick for next year. Because I do want to get Nyquist. That would help out our right wing side. He's like an 83 overall, I think. Which is pretty much like a second to first liner. So yeah, next year's, we're going to give up our second for next year maybe. It's still not a lot. We could give up our second and our third, I think, and just keep our first. That might go through. I'm going to test it out and see if it goes through. Let's see if it goes through. And it's rejected, so woefully insufficient. So they might want 2 seconds to get them. We actually have a lot of thirds from this year as well. And they have higher trade value. But I don't want to give up my picks from this year, really, because we don't have... Well, we do have a decent amount. We could give up like a 5th from this year. But I'm going to keep those. I could give up a second from 2020 as well. And then maybe that will go through. Yeah, it looks like it's more balanced on our side. Let's see if that would go through. Still rejected. They don't want to take on Tyler Ennis' contract. What if I retained... Let's retain $1 million of it. And that's like the most I'd probably retain on somebody like Tyler Ennis because he doesn't do much. And still rejected. Not interested at this point in time. Okay, I'll go up to 1.5 because that's a lot of money to retain, especially on somebody like Tyler Ennis. Let's see. Still rejected. Holy. I thought it would be easier to get Gustav Nyquist. It's a lot of picks to give up. Okay, the most I'm going is 2 million. And if they say no to that, then I might not trade for anybody at this deadline. And it's still rejected. So, okay, I guess we're not going to go after Nyquist. Let me just look, guys, and see if I can find anybody available that we might be able to trade for. Or we might just sim the rest of the season as is. So, see you guys in a sec. Okay, guys, so unfortunately I could not find anybody that I'd like to trade for. I wanted to make a trade at least to help us maybe get back into the playoffs. But there was nothing that I could get because we don't have a lot of good prospects with good trade value yet. So we might have to wait like a couple of years or a year or so before we have some movable assets for this team. So we're just going to leave it as is and hope that we have like a really good month of March and the beginning of April and we make the playoffs somehow. So let's go all the way up to the end of March and see if we could actually go on a game like a winning streak. And Kaprizov is back from his injury, which he suffered at the end pretty much of last episode. So Kaprizov, we'll put Lucia down here. Saraceno, you could get scratched. There you go. I'm hoping Kaprizov, Kunin, and Greenway come back soon. So, or well, not come back soon. Get up to the NHL like in the next couple seasons. So you know what? Actually, I'm gonna keep Lucia on the top line just for now, just because Kaprizov, he's still battling with that injury. I don't want him to get re-injured. So we've won 2 in a row. Okay, that's good. Lost though against Colorado of all teams. I think Colorado actually was doing good in this simulation if I remember correctly, because I haven't recorded that episode in a couple of days because I had the 10-hour trial and then it decided to end on me, so I wasn't able to record. But I finally got my copy of the game yesterday, so let's see. So we are 3-2 since the trade deadline. There's another win and a loss. So our team is playing pretty much the same as it's been playing in the last couple months before that. And Anthony Potato is on waivers. And nothing interesting. 70, 75 overall. There's a win and a loss and another loss. Yeah, I don't think we're making the playoffs with that many regulation losses. It's been a bad year here, but hopefully we could get a good pick at least. Because like if we could get like a top 10 pick, we could maybe make the playoffs again next year and have a stud prospect for the future. So I don't mind having a bad season. But if we could somehow can make the playoffs in year number 1, that would be good. We haven't changed anything really with the rosters except for Yoki Pakas was signed as a free agent and there in the minors. Yeah, I don't think we're making the playoffs with this record. Let's see. If we do, that would be lucky. We lost locker room chemistry, so I don't think we did. So this might be a really short episode, pretty much. We'll just do like a season wrap up. And yeah, we missed out on the playoffs by like 8 points. So not the greatest season. 37, 33, and 12 here in year number 1. So let's take a look at our player stats for the season. We'll sim up to the playoffs. We could actually watch our AHL playoffs, actually. Yeah, I might add some more time to this episode. So Eric Stahl apparently came out firing in the last half of the season. So let's go forwards first. So Eric Stahl led the way with 64 points, Granlund 62 points, Niederreiter 60, Parise 48, Koivu 46, Coyle 43. A lot of points actually divided by all our players. Like our worst offensive player that played most of the games with us is Chris Stewart with 17 points. Looks like he's not having... Yeah, he's losing morale because of his ice time, but who cares? Because we're probably going to release him in the offseason because he's not that good of a player anymore. Landon Ferraro actually came up from the minors and played pretty good, 18 points in 82 games. So that's good news. On to defense. Ryan Suter, 40 points. Nice. Spurgeon, 26 only. I expected a bit more maybe from Spurgeon, only 5 goals. Brodeen 25, Dumba 18, Quincy 8, Murphy 3 in his 30 games. Riley only had 3 in 57, but he is growing, so that's good news. Yoki Paka had nothing in his 3 games. And goalies, Dubnyk 30, 25, and 9. 5 shutouts, 922 save percentage, and a 2.31 goals against average. Stalock, I think he had a good record at first, but now his record went to 7, 8, and 3. 916 save percentage and a 265 goals against average. So I'll update down below in the description, like all the player stats for this episode, so you guys will see that, all the updated player stats on the team. Let's take a look at the entire league, I guess, and see who did what around the league, because I don't usually do that, so I should start doing that more often. So leader in goals at the end of the season was Vladimir Tarasenko with 51 goals, beating out Alexander Ovechkin and John Tavares, who we were trying to acquire. Assist leader was Getzlav, and then Jonathan Toews 63 and 62. Point leader was Sidney Crosby with 95 points, Malkin with 91, and Kane with 90. Where's McDavid even at? Oh, McDavid's all the way down here at 79 points, so almost a point per game. I think that's the best I've seen Connor McDavid simulate in this so far. So 40 goals, 39 assists for him. Plus minus leader was Cam Fowler, plus 47. Okay. Penalty minutes, Mark Borowiecki, 127 penalty minutes. That's not a lot, actually. Like, if you look at the old days, there's people that got like 300 penalty minutes, I think, in a season. Power play goal leader, probably somebody that scored a lot. McDavid, 18 of his 40 goals were on the power play. Okay. Power play points, there's like some new categories in this. Malkin with 34. Shorthanded goals, Tyler Johnson with 3. Tyson Jost in his rookie season had 2. Interesting. Shorthanded points, Provorov, Doughty, a lot of players tied for 4. Actually, Jason Zucker from us had 4 shorthanded points, so that's really nice to see. Looks like, 2 goals, 2 assists on the penalty kill. Game-winning goals, Alexander Ovechkin with 12. Let's just take a look at the fight category, because that's when I like to take a look at it now. To see who's been fighting a lot. So Borowiecki got into 17 fights, damn. I don't think we had much fights if we did. Okay, so that's all for player stats. Let's take a look at the rookies, and then we'll take a look at the goaltenders. Or we'll take a look at the goaltenders first, actually. So the most wins was Cam Talbot, 46 wins. Yeah, I think Cam Talbot might have won the Vezina this year, 46, 15, and 2. 4 shutouts only, though. And the best save percentage from a starter was John Gibson, so maybe Gibson actually takes it. Yeah, I think John Gibson might take it. So that's goaltenders. Last thing we need to check, and I don't want to go to that, what the... Last thing we need to check here is the rookies. And then we'll go to the standings and just see where we finished. And see how good our power play and all that sort of stuff did. I don't think we're going to get the AHL playoffs actually done this. Or I could just quickly sim all the way up to it and see if our AHL team wins. So Clayton Keller, looks like he took the Rookie of the Year, 52 points, 82 games. Dylan Strome right behind him with 51 points in 81 games. And Sebastian Aho, etc. So Brock Besser didn't play that great either. 33 points in 82 games. Okay. So that is rookies and all that stuff. So let's simulate all the AHL playoffs, because our AHL team made the playoffs, and see if our AHL team can go far. And we'll get up to the draft in this episode, see where we're drafting and the retirements if we have any. So... okay, there you go. It finally loaded. It takes so long to load because since it's a new game, it's kind of lagging a bit behind a bit. Okay, so let's go all the way up to June the 1st. So our AHL team has to play Manitoba in the first round. Let's see if they could get it done. Game 1 is a win. Game 2 is another win. And Game 3 is a win. So they sweep the first round and are on to round 2. That's good. Hopefully our prospects could at least get something done this year. then they could come into the NHL ready to go for next season. So now we're up against Chicago Wolves, and we take the first game, but we lose a couple, and it's going to a game 7, I think. Yeah, it's game 7, and we win that game 7, and we're up against Bakersfield in the conference finals. And we win game 1. We have a 2-1 lead currently, 2-2. Oh, wow. We're up 2-0 in the series, and when we lose 4 in a row, and we're out in the conference finals. Well, at least our AHL team did pretty good this year. I think that might be the last year, though, that Kaprizov and Kunin and all those guys are down there, though. Maybe Greenway goes back there for another year. So the Stanley Cup champions in year number 1 are the Arizona Coyotes, and the Providence Bruins win the AHL. So let's stop the simulation, and let's take a look at the awards for the season. And then we could kind of look at the draft class maybe and see who we want to go after at the draft. I think I could still look at the draft class screen. Wow, Kaprizov had a good playoffs, 9 points in 16 games. Okay, come on, get back to the NHL. There you go. Okay, so award-wise, let's see. Okay, so Stanley Cup champions, the Arizona Coyotes. The President's Trophy went to the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, yeah, I was going to go to the standings, goddammit, whatever. Arizona and Pittsburgh in the Stanley Cup Finals. So Pittsburgh's chance at winning 3 in a row has been ended by the young Arizona Coyotes. So Clayton Keller actually just won his first Stanley Cup in his first season, so he might become one of those players that win like 4 Stanley Cups by the time they retire. So Crosby with Art Ross and the Hart. James Norris went to Brent Burns. Lady Byng went to Patrick Kane. Calder went to Clayton Keller, not a surprise. And Antti Ranta getting the Conn Smythe in the playoffs. So, oh yeah, I just realized their goaltending was really weak. I don't know how Ranta carried them that far. It must be just a good defensive team with like OEL and that. John Gibson gets the Vezina. William Jennings goes to John Gibson as well. Bill Masterton going to Radko Gudas. Bergeron getting a Selke. Crosby getting a Lindsay. And Tarasenko gets a Richard. Okay. Let's just check the AHL awards. I would assume Kaprizov's going to get some. So Sanford, Kaprizov. Yep, Kaprizov gets the most goals during the regular season. I actually have to check the AHL stats still. But I might not do it in this episode. I might just put it on the Google Sheets page, and then you guys could check that out afterwards. Derek Pouliot. Let's see, any other Kaprizovs? There's another one. Okay, cool. So Kaprizov's got 2 awards down there in the minors this year, so that is good to see. So that's that. Now let's take a look at the draft class for this upcoming season, maybe what we could go after. But let's actually find out where we're drafting first and see who retired, because then that way we could see if we need to go after a certain position, if like say Eric Stahl or something like that. But I think they might have fixed the retirement thing, because a lot of players don't retire now till they're around 40 years of age. So okay, so where are we in the draft? We are 10th. Yes, we have the 10th overall pick, so that's exactly where I wanted to finish, at least in the top 10. But the Islanders have 2 top 10 picks. Wow, or 3 top 10 picks. Holy shit. They have a 9th, they have a 4th, and they have a... So the Islanders are going through full rebuild. I think those are mostly from those trades. Like if you guys looked on my Google Sheets page, there's a category where I put all the trades from the deadline. There's some big trades that happened during those months. So, wow. Okay, so that's the draft lottery results. Now, are we going to have any retirements? I'm hoping not, but you never know. So no forwards, and goaltending, nobody as well. So at least we didn't lose anybody. Let's just check the entire league. So Mike Ribeiro, Derek Roy, Brian Campbell, Mark Streit. A lot of guys that don't actually play that much. Okay, Neil retired as a free agent. Yeah, so that's that. Let's check goaltenders as well. No goalies retired. See, like, normally in a GMO, like in NHL 17, you would have, like, Roberto Luongo and stuff like that retire right now. But Luongo still plays right now, at least. So I guess age doesn't matter as much. So, okay, let's see if we could look at the draft class at least. Come on, load, you slow piece of crap. There you go. Okay, so yeah, we can still view the draft class, which is kind of nice because you used to not be able to see who was available at the draft beforehand. So who is ready to be drafted this year? Okay, so Rasmus down. This is how they're supposed to go at the draft. So let's see who's supposed to go at number 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we might be able to get people like Krivo. Who is this dude? Krivosic. Yeah, we could get Krivosic maybe. We could get Olsen, Lundestrom, Hug. So some centers. And then there's also a nice left winger. High elite though. I don't know if this guy's going to be taken though. Anderson McDonald might be a good player to take. Because with that high elite potential, if it is accurate, he could be like a steal at that spot. You never know though. There's also Merkley, and then we do need a goaltender prospect as well. So I don't know if we want to trade away something to try and get Alexis Gravel, or we just wait until the second round and see if we could get him. But I think he usually goes around 30th overall. So yeah, that's the draft class. Let's just see one last thing, which is I just want to check the progress reports, see how our HL guys are growing, and then that'll be it for episode number 3. In the next episode, you guys let me know what you want me to go after at the draft and what you want me to trade for during the off season, what you want me to sign, all that sort of stuff. So progress reports. So Luke Kunin is growing to an 81. Holy crap. Okay, good we kept him, because now he's good enough to be like a third liner almost, or a fourth liner, I don't know even. But damn, that's some crazy growth for a top 6 forward. And he's only 20. How about Kaprizov? Kaprizov is a 74 still. Okay, but he probably will grow it during the off season, I think. And Greenway's is 72. Okay, that's good. Goaltenders. Okay. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of our Minnesota Wild GM mode. So if there's anything you want me to do during the off season in specific, let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Wow.